So we were talking about general terms in circuits. Usually circuits are going to start from a battery which gives electrons energy, and there's a a symbol that is typical for showing batteries: a short line, long line, short line, long line. Depending on how many batteries they want to show, all you need is a short and a long line once for one single battery. And if you put a bunch in in an order, that means 2 or 3 cells. Usually each one's 1.5. But again, they don't get that technical about usually drawing these. It'll be a short and a long line. So let me shorten that down to just that for one circuit. This is your battery, okay? Then, usually the wires are going to come out from the battery. They're going to go to some machine. Let's say it's just a light bulb. And the symbol for this, they don't usually draw in a light bulb like this, but usually they just show a resistor that looks like this. It's just a zigzag line or sawtooth line that can mean any kind of a tool, a drill, a whatever. Okay, and that's going to do the work that you wanted it to, and then usually the electricity runs back to the battery. You want your electrons to run through here and do whatever job they are, make light, play music on the radio, and so if this has a certain voltage and this has a certain resistance, then the question is how much electrons flow through that circuit to cause what you want it to do. And let's just call this, for instance, 120 volts, and the resistance here to equal 12 ohms. So I have a relationship here where I can figure out how many electrons are flowing through this through the Ohm's law, which is voltage is equal to current times resistance. I know the voltage is 120, and that's in volts. The current is what we're looking for, and the resistance here is 12 ohms. All right? So if I want to find the current, how many electrons are flowing through, how big is that pipe, divide both sides by 12, and I'm going to get, this is 10, and current comes in amps. So 10 amps. It's a normal sized circuit in your house. Those are the smallest circuits in your house. So that's the way you're going to calculate or find one of these and not the other. The other way is you can actually take instruments that are going to clamp onto these wires, and they'll be able to feel how much electricity is going through. And moving electricity it casts a sense about it, which we're going to talk about tomorrow. It creates magnetism. You can put a sensor that can feel that magnetism and determine how much wire is going through without actually getting into the wire and stopping that current. For resistance, they'll use, for the current, it's called an ammeter for detecting amps. And then that's the current. Current is detected by an ammeter. The resistance is usually by a multimeter or an ohm meter or resistance meter. Radio Shack sells those if the Radio Shack's still around. So Amazon must sell those. And they'll come up with a little number at the top. And you'll have to test these by actually putting a probe on the wire here and here. And it can sense the voltage drop across here. Okay? That's how these get determined, each of these values. So, good. That's the way you're going to do these problems.